Here in Altamont Springs, I mean, hours after that crash, you can see some fresh tire marks here leading up to where that car ended up driving right through the fence of this business. Now, the business owner was out here this morning. If the jury convicts Michael Bargo of the first-degree murder charge, the prosecution will be seeking the death penalty in this case. Boats are already in the water. The marina part of the project opened back in April, but take a look at construction. Today, no one doing any laundry inside this apartment complex. You can see an out-of-order sign posted. The door is locked, but breaking details to update you. I just learned this minutes ago. That evacuation has now been lifted. But I can tell you that based upon the history of this case and the death threats made at George Zimmerman and his family and their needs for security, there's probably a good chance that he will go into some type of hiding. I mean, if we look back to the Casey Anthony case, you know, she was acquitted as well. She's in hiding. We don't know where she is to this day other than the fact that she's still in Central Florida somewhere. She also filed for bankruptcy. Who knows what's going to happen with George Zimmerman? After Casey's acquittal, a lot of people calling her the most hated woman in America. Will that happen in this case? We just don't know. But the good news to tell you is that, as Natalie Jackson just said, the attorney for the Martin family, these protests, they've been peaceful. And so far tonight, about an hour and a half or so past that not guilty verdict reading, the city of Sanford is quiet and everyone is resting easy as of right now. This guy is locked up. He's 32-year-old Michael Timothy Poindexter, and his attorneys tell News 13 that Michael Bargo is expected to take the stand in his own defense, likely sometime next week. And we're live from Silver Star Road and Pine Hills Road. It's a really busy, popular intersection here in West Orange County, here in Orlando. And this is where a major DUI checkpoint will be set up later on tonight. What started off as a normal workout turned deadly in a matter of seconds. That's because Winter Garden police say the fence is back up for the meantime. I can tell you that the business owner was out here early this morning and he tied it up by moving a forklift here and chained it up. Definitely a lot to go through. I mean, this is the case report, hundreds of pages, including police reports, police statements, a lot of crime scene photos, all of this outlining the plan. FBI says a special agent shot and killed here. He tells me his friend, he and his friend are from Chechnya. They have been in contact with the FBI. In fact, they tell me federal agents from Boston were here the day of the Boston bombings, interviewing them because these men are from Chechnya. When that happens here at the beach, it's going to create some large waves and make the rip currents even stronger. But the list is pretty long, pretty inclusive. And Kristen, let's ask you some questions about some of the fashion accessories. You know, we know clothes and shoes, those are going to be tax-free this weekend. But when it comes to accessories,
okay,
it's a little interesting. Kristen, sunglasses, taxable or exempt?
Well, since sunglasses are an accessory, I'm going to say they're exempt.
They are taxable. You're going to have to pay 6.5%
okay,
for a pair of sunglasses. Well, this is important, particularly today, because, you know, the defense did not want to hear from this witness at all. They did not want George Zimmerman's school records allowed in the classroom, but they were actually kind of able to turn that around and actually use this witness to their advantage today.
And you also have Tracy Martin, who originally said, we're talking about his father, who originally said that wasn't Trayvon on the tape. So, I mean, this jury has got a lot to absorb.
You're right, and it would be interesting if, in fact, the state did call Tracy Martin to the stand because, as you mentioned, when he first was speaking with investigators just days after the shooting, really, they played that 911 call for him to listen to. Initially, he said, no, that was not his son. It was not Trayvon Martin screaming on the tape. Later on, he changed his story and said, yeah, that it was him. So we'll have to wait and see if the state calls him at all or if the defense will call him, too, as a witness for their case.